Hello, everybody. It's the end of the weekend. Happy Sunday. How are you today? I would love for everybody to check in, say hello. I'm just going to invite a few people here. And when you do come on, I'd like you to basically just give me some hearts or some love. Let me know that you're there. I'm just inviting a few people. I should have put some music on in the background, right? So anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and say hello. For those of you that have been following me for a while, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Angelique Renee. I am a holistic beauty and wellness expert, women's self-care coach, and licensed esthetician. And for me, I work with women to revitalize their femininity. And I take a powerful stand for women just really embracing their essence. And so, you know, through my own journey and through everything that I've been through, I had a 15-year career in corporate America, almost 16 years, and I now have completely redesigned my life to be in a place now where I have more alignment, more things that give me joy, you know. So I really wanted to hop on tonight just because I remember back when I was in corporate America. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Juanita. Back when I was in corporate America, one of the things that I had an issue with was during the weekend, starting on Sunday afternoon, I would get this sick feeling in the pit of my stomach. And I would just start mulling over, just start thinking about my to-do list, all the things that I needed to get done, my task list, the meetings, the conference calls, every client that I needed to follow up with, every deadline that I had to meet. And literally on Sundays, it just gave me this sick feeling in the pit of my stomach. And I would drag out of the bed on Monday mornings, just dreading going to the office, dreading like just having to be there on Monday morning. And you know, back then I wasn't getting good quality sleep either, so often I would go into meetings. Hi Marie, it's been a while. Elaine, Carrie, I hope you're enjoying your weekend and traveling well. You know, I just remember just dreading going in, and I wasn't sleeping well at night, so I would drag in, and it was so difficult for me to sit in my Monday morning meetings or on my Monday morning conference calls and funnel reviews and actually try to pay attention. I mean, I would actually nod off sometimes. I had a manager that actually used to make fun of me and say Angelique is always sleepy, because I was just bored, and it was so difficult for me because a lot of times I was checked out. You know, I really didn't want to be there, and I was going through the motions, and I was doing what I needed to do, and but I wasn't really taking care of myself. You know, I was just grinding it out. I was just so burnt out at the end of my career that I ended up suffering adrenal fatigue and hormonal imbalances, which I would never wish on anyone. I mean, I had it so bad that I actually thought at one point that I had some sort of a brain or neurological dysfunction going on, because my old way of operating, being organized and clear and sharp and focused and driven and motivated, all of those things, I suddenly became scattered. And I was struggling to stay focused and to follow through on projects to completion, to get organized. And I was so acutely aware of it. I was like, oh my God, like, please don't tell me that, number one, the best years of my life are behind me, because, you know, I was 40 years old, and I'm sitting there going, I've lived a life of wellness, but why do I not feel well? But then feeling so scattered, and to the point where I would actually speak to people and forget words and sentences, and I was so acutely aware of it, and it really freaked me out. I was really afraid. And I just remember like those Sunday nights, just at the end of the weekend, starting about Sunday afternoon, I would start getting cranky, I would start getting irritable, I would start getting agitated because I was just thinking about the week ahead, and it just seemed like such a cumbersome task. You know, there was just so much to do. And, you know, so much of it for me in particular, because some women, their area of brilliance is the corporate world. Some women, their area of brilliance is the business world. So I'm not saying that necessarily people need to get out of that, because that's their livelihood and that's where they operate in their area of genius. That, you know, that's, some women are fantastic at that. But for me, and looking back, if I look back at the little girl that I was as a kid that grew up camping and hiking and searching for rocks and crystals, because I, you know, was born in an area where, you know, there's a lot of mining, and I used to find beautiful crystals and label them, and, you know, and all these things. And I grew up playing music and singing and so many things. And then I got to college, and then, you know, I was like, you know, I chose not to pursue my music scholarships because I personally didn't want to be a music teacher, and I didn't feel that I was actually going to go professional status. And so all of that stuff went to the wayside, and I just started to work, home, family. That's all that I was doing. I just had to hustle and grind, and I was very successful at it for a very long time. You know, I now live in a state to where I've actually chosen to boycott Mondays. I don't work Mondays unless I actually want to or choose to, and I've actually taken that as a self-care, as a way of really just giving myself that permission for extreme self-care. And I'm very fortunate that I've designed my career to be able to do those things. Not everybody has that ability to do that. But, you know, I will tell you, you know, it's a matter of women being able to release self-sacrifice. And, you know, so often, you know, we get just clouded in this storm of chaos to where you don't know where to begin. And if she can release self-sacrifice and then instead just receive expert guidance to master the sacred art of supreme self-love and well-being for the feminine soul, because we've been forced into, or we've forced ourselves into this masculine framework of working, to where you get up at a certain time, you clock in, you check out, you know, you have to meet all of these demands. But for the woman, the feminine soul, it's killing her. It's diminishing her light. It's depleting her essence. And unless you are nurturing and taking care of that, and a lot of women don't have an example to follow. A lot of women don't know. Maybe they haven't had somebody to lead them. I know women that have never even been taught how to put on makeup properly, you know? And so that's where it's so important to be able to invest in ourselves. And so often too, I've had women come to me and tell me that, you know, they feel that so many things are a luxury, you know, that if they were to splurge and to pamper themselves, that would be considered a luxury, not a necessity. But I'm here to tell you, that is our livelihood. That is what gives us wholeness and completeness, and gets us in contact with our feminine essence. And it is a necessity. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with luxury. Luxury could be something as simple as you drinking your tea out of, you know, your favorite china teacup. You know, that can be a luxurious experience. You could have your little rituals at home, you know, use your china, you know, do your body scrubs. You know, there's so many little things that we can do that don't have to be complicated. But so often I hear women say that it's a luxury and they can't see themselves spending money on that. And it's so interesting because we create a business case for what we buy for ourselves, how we invest in ourselves. And it's so funny because do you think that men ask for permission when they order motorcycle parts and car parts, and these parts are shipped from China and arrive at the doorstep? Did they come to their wife and ask them permission to order that stuff? 9 times out of 10, no. I know many relationships that have been damaged because of men overspending on automotive toys and things like that. And yet the woman is sacrificing and buying everything for her home, everything for her children, making sure everything is and everyone is taken care of except herself. And that's why I've dedicated my life's work to teaching women the sacred art of supreme self-love and self-care, because I personally know I was you just a few short years ago, where I was completely burnt out, suffering adrenal fatigue, had health issues, even though I was living a life of wellness. And if it wasn't for learning these rituals and how to nurture and take care of myself, which if you look at my pictures today, I actually look younger today at 41 than I did at 35. Your body has the amazing ability to heal itself. And sometimes you need coaching and guidance to show you your blind spots on where, because you might be doing a lot of things, but maybe there's a missing component. Maybe there's something else that you need. And so you're worthy and deserving in investing in yourself in order to learn the shortcut on what it's going to take in order for you to be whole and complete. You know, if we are out there scattering our energy, scattering, you know, our time and everything else, we render ourselves exhausted and depleted. And so, you know, piece by piece, and I see this all the time, we give away our identity, whether it's in our career, in our marriage, you know, we come up with all these labels on who we are, but it's so difficult for women to come back to themselves. Who were they before they had all those titles, you know, as mother, as wife, as whatever their job title is. And so it's really important for us to stay connected to ourselves, because in our wholeness and in our singleness is when we can be our best for others, when we can be the best for our children, when we can be the best for our spouse, when we can be the most effective and have the biggest impact at work. And so I'm here to teach people the shortcut, to teach women the shortcut, because I would not want anybody to fumble like I did, spending years, you know, piece by piece researching and trying to gather all of this knowledge, when I can actually encapsulate it and give it to you in its shortest and simplest form. So I'm really excited because I did develop my Soul Signature program, which is VIP mentorship in supreme self-care and well-being. And so it's 60 days. You're going to have unlimited access to me, which is really awesome. I'm going to be giving one-on-one virtual coaching intensives and be hosting a VIP immersion retreat coming up next month here in Orlando, Florida. You're also going to get several bonus group virtual sessions as well. And so you get the one-on-one time and the unlimited access, but you're also going to be able to plug into a sisterhood and have accountability and be able to be in community with women that totally understand where you're coming from. They speak your language. They understand your challenges and your struggles. And you guys can share, because you're not on an island by yourself. It takes a community. We are meant to be in community together, supporting one another and helping one another. Human beings, and especially women, we're not meant to just be operating alone, you know, and nobody's meant to be that way. That's why we have partnerships and friendships and relationships, is so that we can support, guide, and love each other and hold each other accountable, you know, accountable to our true character. And so, you know, I'm really looking forward to working with 4 women directly over the next 60 days. If you are to that point where you're so depleted and exhausted like I was, to where you just know you can't continue living like this, that you've got to do something different, and you're ready to come forth and surrender all of your challenges and all of the things that you've been going through and say, listen, this is not a forum in which I'm going to complain, but this is what I have on my plate, and I want to learn how to shift this and create transformational change in my life, because I want my life back. You know, nobody gives us a manual on how to be a mother and a wife and everything else, and sometimes we can just get lost. We get lost in the rat race between our jobs and our kids and our spouse and everything else, and then you wake up one day and you're just completely overwhelmed, and sometimes you don't know how to think straight. So I love supporting women in this area because I've been through it. I have personally walked through this journey. I am constantly learning and refining and tweaking, but my brilliance is being able to simplify it in its simplest form and give you the tools to where step by step, day by day, whether you're in your car, at your desk, you know, out and about, you can use these tools anytime, anywhere. This is not stuff where you have to become some guru, you know, that is mastering some ancient technique, you know, to spirituality or anything like that. I have the tools just to create rapid shift for you, no matter where you're at, anytime, anywhere. And so if what I say to you resonates with you, definitely message me, reach out to me. It's going to fill up fast. And I'm super excited because I have so many gifts to offer. There's going to be so much emotional healing. We're going to be working together with the elements. And I really am looking to help women, find peace and serenity, to reclaim their bliss, to elevate their moods and their energy. There's just so much balancing and grounding. That's the other thing, because sometimes we get scattered. We're all over the place. Even for that matter, if you're like me, mind starts running. My monkey mind, for me to sit still and to quiet my mind has been hugely challenging, but I've found the simplest, easiest techniques to be able to do that, to where you can stop the struggle and step out of chaos and actually find your peace, your inner peace, and be grounded without it being complicated. So anyways, if my message resonates with you, definitely reach out to me. I'm working on an application basis, just because I am creating a sacred space for women to create the ideal community and holding the energy, so that way everybody has synergy, and we're going to be able to support one another, and just it's really going to be a beautiful thing. So I'm working on an application basis, so reach out to me if you're interested. I would love to work with you and support you. We can explore whether or not we're a fit to work together. And if you guys ever have any questions, if you're catching the replay, put #replay. If you want to forward this to your friends, maybe you know some women in your life that are burnt out, that need some help and some extra support. The truth of the matter is you need to get out of your environment, unplug, and actually make yourself a priority. It's time to start healing. It's time to start putting everything on the mend and get you whole again. So that way, when you go back, you have the tools that you need in order to shift things around and create change in your life. And your family's going to notice you're different. You're going to feel different, and you're going to go there, and going forward, you're going to do everything different, because you're going to walk away knowing what to do and having the support and guidance if you do feel like you're fumbling a little bit. So I'm super excited about it, guys. Work with me. It's the perfect time to work on this stuff before the holidays come around. What would your life be like if you could get balanced and grounded and present and connected and really just master your sacred art of supreme self-care as a woman going into the holidays before all that nonsense starts? Because I know a lot of people, they get really stressed out closing out the year, especially women in business, plus all the holiday stuff, plus preparing for whatever they're going to launch and do in the new year. Now's the perfect time. And especially if you come to visit me in Orlando for our VIP immersion experience, the weather's going to be absolutely gorgeous, and it's going to be perfect timing. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you ever have questions, and you just reach out to me, message me. I'm here to support you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Put #replay. Let me know that you were here. I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.